Andrew Cuomo resigned as the governor of New York, and that has sent shockwaves throughout the political universe. Let me just say this right off the top. I think Andrew Cuomo has done the worst job of any governor in any of our lives, if you consider the most important job that any governor has to be protecting people in his or her state. And if you look at what Andrew Cuomo did with nursing homes and all of the people that ended up dying inside of those nursing homes as a result of his decision to send positive COVID patients back in the early days in April and in May of the 2020 epidemic back into the nursing homes, he deserved to be impeached for that alone. He also lied about it, lied about the numbers. The Department of Justice failed to do an actual decent investigation into this. Reports are that he lied about it in an effort to try to make sure that his multi-million-dollar book deal wasn't impacted. All of this was and is a sham before we even get to the alleged sexual harassment of 11 different women, 9 of whom were employed in the New York governor's office. So let's start here. I think what's going on is Andrew Cuomo became aware that he was going to be impeached by the New York legislature. In an effort to try to maintain his political viability, I believe he made the decision to resign while also laying out the case that he had done nothing at all wrong, and that he is then going, I really believe this is true, I think he is then going to run for political office again, perhaps as soon as this coming year for the governor of New York in 2022. Now, I asked a poll question from you guys about whether or not you believed that Andrew Cuomo would ever run for political office again, and a substantial percentage of you said that you did not think he would. Over 20,000 of you have voted. 61% of you said no. 39% of you said yes, he'll run again. Put me in the minority here. I think he's going to run again. And if you think about things from a politician's perspective, most of the time, their choices are about electoral viability. That is there a way to find a possible path to being elected again? And I think Cuomo knew if he dragged this on for several months and if he then got impeached, that his chances would be lesser than if he laid out the case, said he did nothing wrong, and basically argued that he was falling on the sword for the people of New York, that there would then be, maybe, in a couple of months, an opportunity for him to come back and run for, we'll see whether or not he ends up doing it, and run for the office of governor one more time. How would he justify doing it? He would say that he wants the people of New York to make a decision about his tenure as governor and whether or not he deserves another one. And he would be relying on the fact that people have short memories. He would be trying to bring himself back from political dead. If he won in New York in 2022, then he could arguably be a contender in 2024 for the presidency of the United States. Now, again, I'm not saying that I'm in favor of this. Certainly I'm not. I think Andrew Cuomo did a disastrous job as governor of New York, and I think the fact that he was considered a COVID hero by so many in the Corona Bro perspective out there, that's why I'm wearing this shirt right now. I think that, again, the story here is that Andrew Cuomo is trying to preserve his political viability by any means that he possibly can. So, what's going to be interesting here is, remember next month, Gavin Newsom has a recall election vote. And the polls are not necessarily looking very favorable for Gavin Newsom as the governor of California, meaning you may end up with a situation where the two patron saints of Democratic governor steadfastness and total strength, which were Cuomo in New York and Gavin Newsom in California, both of them could end up losing their office before a year hardly is passed from their rock star status. What I really want to know is, will they be rescinding the special Emmy Award that Andrew Cuomo won, which was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen Hollywood do, and that is saying a lot. But again, Andrew Cuomo is out. I think he's going to try to run again in 2022, win his office as governor again. I think he'll step out of the public eye for the next 60 or 90 days, maybe a little bit longer, and then reemerge early next year, with the idea being that he is going to win the Democratic nomination to be the governor in 2022. We'll see whether or not I end up being correct about that.